guys, welcome back to Strong Successful Male. So for today, I'm going to update as well as a Q&A to a video I did a few days ago, which is titled, After Years of Being Married to a Borderline Personality Harpy, I'm Free, Happy, and at Peace. And guys, a recap, that's about the guys you all well aware who made the mistake of getting married to a nutcase a second time, stayed with her forever even though she was awful, and most certainly enabled her behavior in different aspects. Didn't check her as much, didn't do things he knew he should have done, and stay with her. And oh yeah, had like 3 or 4 kids with her. I can't remember how many, it's 3 or 4. And primarily he stayed to protect the kids, but he was miserable. And he shared his lessons that he learned the hard way, hoping guys don't make the same mistakes. Well, anyhow, he's here to respond to a bunch of questions people had and add more details on things you guys were curious about. And I might add also now, he's now divorced from her, as you all are aware. He's happy, he's seeing a woman, a single mom, which I have my opinion about, but we'll get into details about that, and he definitely is not making the same mistake twice. So I thought I'd give him a chance to say what he has to say, because so many of you guys watched this video, and frankly, I was curious. And guys, like I've been saying all the last couple weeks, if you happen to be on X, formerly Twitter, come check me out. We're having a good time over there, really trying to help market the channel. So if you're on there, come check me out. And if you're not on there, well, maybe think about it, because we're all having a good time there, trying to really grow another community over there where we can say what we want and have a good time. Okay, check it out. SSM Channels is the handle. Okay. He says here, Hey SSM, thanks a lot for covering my story. I just got done watching the video and I'm going through some of the comments. So let me provide some additional context. To address one of the major comments that appeared several times, yes, I was a simp. If you can admit it, that's a huge thing, because a lot of these guys don't think that. That was why I wrote the story. If I hadn't made the mistakes I had, there wouldn't be a story. I was also raised that when you get married, you don't get to quit. You work it out. So did I stay longer than I should have in both my marriages? Yes, I did. I get working it out when there's something to, if you could say, fight for. And when I say fight for, what I mean is, like, say there's a problem in the marriage that's not her, but you're both struggling, working together. Like, say the poor child has a handicap of some sort that's really challenging and causing stress. You both work towards it. Or there's other things. But this is not a situation to fight for. She is awful. You don't fight or you stay in a situation like that. And I know he knows what I mean. When I went through my first divorce, it was horrible. I made the mistake of letting her control the narrative because I was repeatedly told when asking for advice that my parents didn't want to know about our troubles. Oh, what? Great parents on your part. Learn from your parents being assholes, and when your kids need help, you will listen to them and help them. Which doesn't lend a lot to the pleasant conversations when you tell your family you want a divorce. At one point, I told my family that they better hope that their soon-to-be ex-daughter-in-law remembered the way to their house, because I wouldn't stop them from seeing their grandson. I wasn't going to be bringing him to visit either. I lost almost everything and everyone, horrible experience, but I did it anyway. My first marriage, okay, so I did not know that my first wife had been carrying on an affair with her boss before we got married. The rule of always getting to know your girlfriend before doing anything stupid holds true before both marriages. I've been saying this since the beginning, gents. But especially here. Hindsight after finding out, there were clues, but nothing that stood out as an oh shit moment. She was a dental assistant, so like most doctors' offices, they would try to squeeze in last-minute patients and stuff. In other words, with her schedule being all over the place and everything, she could just say, hey, last-minute appointment or blah, 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 emergency situation at the dentist's office. Yeah, easy way for her to cover shit up. Hell, I've been one of those patients, so it's not like it stood out. They had Saturdays hours as well, so I often took my son to visit my parents so they could see him. Things weren't great, but they weren't horrible either. Just thought I had the same marriage every other man had. I was working nearly 50 hours a week and working my bachelor's while everybody slept. After the divorce was final, she admitted that she'd been sleeping with her boss and that he filed 2 weeks after we did. They had done a lot of work to keep his soon-to-be ex-wife away from me, and she was an attorney, and when they would have likely represented me for free just to screw with her. As it was, I was paying for everything, dental, health, plus most daycare and child support. Oh, how wonderful. Okay, so he had a boy from his first marriage. Now we're on to the second one he's going to talk about. The nutcase. The second wife. I had no intention of marrying her when we first got together. Says so many guys. I was being kept busy, apparently not busy enough, between work and my son to really want anything more than a casual thing. Yeah, should I have asked for a blood test when she found out she was pregnant? Yep, I certainly should have. Knowing now how long she'd been cheating, I should have for all my kids, but I did not. Well, you should have, but what's done is done. There are days not knowing what really eats me up, and that is absolutely on her. The rest of it was just a slide over time. If you've never been involved with a BPD person, they live in chaos. Yes, they do, but you know what? A lot of women that probably aren't diagnosed with BPD live in various forms of chaos because otherwise they're bored. I say it all the time and I mean it. I'll say it to my dying breath. Women love drama. Now, there's degrees to this shit, but they all love it in some way. But there are some that just enjoy watching shows and hearing their girlfriends gossip about their bullshit. And there's other ones that want to be right in the thick of it. And if they don't have drama, they will cause drama. So remember that, guys. And the BPT, god damn it, the BPD people make it look like not chaos for a very long time. I spent most of the first decade we were together trying to scramble to build a career and keep a roof over the head and food on the table. Finding out how much her parents were enabling her behavior, and to this day, her father still does with a huge blow. That's the biggest problem when fucking parents enable their kids' behavior. When they're adults, they enable their behavior, and, you know. But when your father-in-law attended seminary and was an avid churchgoer, I didn't question much. Well, you should have. You're a man, you can question. The guys who are saying that I was a doormat are right. Hard to see when you're working your ass off and are just trying to make it through the day. Just trying to be a good provider and protector. Once I started making some good money and I could breathe is when things really started coming to light. Once I could pay attention, her actions could stand the scrutiny. Or couldn't stand the scrutiny. Yeah. Look, man, I through your story, and many of us can see you were busting your tail to provide for your kids. And I respect that. You know, it's just so unfortunate that you spent so much time with that woman who took advantage of you. And so many good guys are being taken advantage of. That's why you have to really evaluate the situation and get out if you can. It's better for the kids. And you learned over time would have been better if you got out of there. It says, why wasn't I paying the bills? I was working an easy 70 to 100 hours a week. Back to the whole building my career thing. Plus doing my master's degree and cooking most nights. Laundry, cleaning, and at some point spending time with the kids. Yeah, what the fuck was she doing during all this? It was just an additional thing I couldn't take on at the time. Or at least I didn't think so. I was tired. I wasn't doing enough for anyone. My boss, my spouse, you name it. I took over, and when I couldn't handle my phone constantly ringing over shit, so I set up a separate account, moved my direct deposit over, and I started handling bills. Once I got caught up, about a month later, the phone stopped ringing. This seems disjointed. Highlight really from 25 years. Yeah, it's not going to be perfectly coherent. OP would have never left on his own if not for her saying she wanted out first. I get how you might have that impression. After the Labor Day incident where I found the messages to another guy at work right before we went to investigate another state, I started talking to lawyers, getting things squared away with work. They were just starting to bring people back to the office. Talking with family and, of course, friends back home to make sure that my kids and I had somewhere to land and to get into school as quickly as possible per the advice of my lawyer. Yeah, it's interesting. I had a girlfriend many years ago. Her dad, his first marriage, when they got the divorce, the first thing the lawyer told him to do was get the kids enrolled in another school if you want to try to get them. People said, but OP, you had offered her a chance. Yes, I did. I have 4 kids with Jessica, theoretically, and you bet your ass I was going to walk away being able to look at them and say, I tried everything. I walked away with my head held high. Was she even going to say yes? Not a chance. The I don't want to be married and I don't want to be a mom was the most honest thing I think she's ever said to me. Yeah, that part, I mean, what does it say when you have kids? I mean, obviously she gave birth to those kids, and she's like, I don't want to be a mom anymore. Yeah, obviously raising kids and teenagers is hard. I don't have kids, but I can't imagine the hell that would be. But so many of you guys do, and you know it's hard. But still, even the hardest times, you still love your kids. But the fact that she was ready to walk away from all them, What does it say about her? Next question people had is, are you sure they are all yours? That's what I was wondering, given her behavior. He says, nope, I'm not sure. Some days it really does eat me up, too. That is the one thing I'm really struggling to let go of, because fuck her if they aren't. I shared some additional info with SSM regarding some of the things I was informed that were going on per some anonymous sources, and none of it is good. Even in the state I'm in, that only garnered me 70%, why would she even want custody if she didn't want to be a mother? Well, money. Of course, that's why she'd want any custody. I'm sure that someone somewhere is paying her money if she took some responsibility for the kids, likely her dad. She didn't want it until someone told her she could get $3,000 a month from me in child support and alimony from me, because no judge would give her less than 50-50 where I live. She does not get that from me. She doesn't currently get any from me, and due to the extra content I provided, she got 30% custody, which in today's family court system I consider a win. Yeah, the way things are today, if you get custody 70% of the time, yeah, that's pretty fucking huge. She must have looked so bad in front of that judge. As for being weak and all the other stuff, you can all believe what you will. I held on for my kids as long as I could, which is a damn sight longer than I should have. Does it make me weak? Maybe. Doesn't matter now. It's over and done with. It is over and done with. You were doing what you felt and thought was right. Obviously, you knew your wife was a fucking asshole, amongst many other things, and you kept trying, but my man, I mean, I'm sure looking back, holy crap, you could have been a lot happier if you got out sooner. I mean, what's done is done. But hopefully through your story, guys out there, if God forbid they fall into the situation you did in any degree, they can get out sooner instead of being miserable. But you were strong. You did what you felt was right, and you were doing to protect your kids. I respect and I can admire how hard you worked your ass off to provide and take care of them. You're a good dad. It's just that, unfortunately, you're with the wrong woman. But let's hope that you don't make the same mistake a third time, because you had your first marriage and the second one, and don't you dare get married again. Now we're on to the part that I know a lot of you guys wanted to hear. He says, dating a single mom. He says, yeah, I figured I was going to get some smacks and some what the fucks on this one. But that's okay. I don't have the best track record, so this one likely deserved. Here's the deal. No one ever knew we were dating for a year. We kept it pretty low key. We both have kids, and we weren't going to involve them if that wasn't a thing. I just moved back to the area, and most of my friends from before the military had moved on with life. We still get together, but it's different. My girlfriend and I had some classes together in high school, and I had always thought she was very smart and funny. So when I found out that she was dating, I asked her out. At worst, a chance to catch up with someone I'd known and have a few laughs, etc. Better, it might be a fun date. We live in a small town, but we don't live together. Okay, so this is how here we go with the siren. It's been a while, but I'm parked in a different place today, so now we got the fucking sirens. Anyhow, man, well, it's not like you just went on some freaking dating app and found a single mom. This is a gal that you were friends with and knew back in the day, and I spent a lot of my life in a small town and in Pennsylvania, so I know what that's like. And so if you're back there starting over with the kids and you reconnect with this gal that you were friends with back in the day, that's a little different, but still, you got to be careful, man. Please don't make the same mistake again. Certainly don't get married. There's no reason to live with her. You got your own place. You can provide for yourself, If you're having a good time, fine, but be careful. Because remember, the stories I cover. So many of them, they want a provider. They want, just be careful. Anyhow, he says our oldest children are in the same age group, so from time to time they like hanging out, fishing and gaming and stuff like that. About once every other month, we all get together for food. If there are sports to watch, we do those things as we are able to. She supports my hobbies, and I hope to turn them into a business someday. And she joins me in nature and hiking around or kayaking. It works for us. Okay, man, if you're having a good time and it's helping you heal and move on from the hell that was your life for so long, great. I just don't want you to get into the situation again. I've made it clear, guys. I didn't say all single moms are to the extent that I've covered in the stories. There are good ones out there. It's just that you're going to have baggage when there's kids involved and stuff like that. Just be careful. There are days I have my kids and she doesn't, and vice versa. So we spend time on our own, doing our own things. We both had bad run-ins with marriage, and neither of us is eager to go down that road again. Good. Stay that way. No need to get married. That's crazy. Anything we do that might be a joint decision will involve lawyers beforehand. It's much easier to agree to shit when you still like each other. No getting married, no moving in together until maybe all the kids are out of the house. There's no need to move in together if you make enough money to take care of things and you're comfortable. Okay, dude, seriously. That can change. The dynamic can change overnight. You move in together. You should know this. Really. But if you're going to fucking do it, make it way down the road when all the kids are out of the house and in their own lives. And, I don't think you should do it, but if you're going to do it anyway, make sure all the kids are adults, legal adults out of the house, embarking in their own lives and careers and all that, and make sure you're not doing something that you need her and all that. But I just don't want you to make another big mistake. We're comfortable in our own spaces, and it's going to be difficult to give that up. Well, then don't give it up. Seek therapy. He says, that was something I was saying, a lot of you guys were. He says, that's solid advice, and I have. The hardest part for me was understanding my value. I'd ignored all the things I'd done through my life, know what you bring to the table. Yeah, when you've been worn down so long, guys, and made to feel like you're nothing, it's very hard to see your value. It's very hard to get to that point. Hard to teach lessons if you're not living them. Yeah, I get being hung up on the single mom thing. A little different in your late 40s than your early teens and 20s like my oldest are. I do like dating. My girlfriend chases me, and I've been very pointed about the shit that happened in my past and that I will be watching. Good, dude. Trust but verify. Keep your eyes open constantly for potential red flags. Trust your gut. The first sign I can't trust her, I'm not staying. I have access to her phone anytime I want, and she actually might give as much of a shit about my financial future as I do. And she's phenomenal with money. I actually had to take investing advice from her. Her portfolio does much better than mine did. Well, that's great. That's a huge plus, man. If she's great with money, which means she, no doubt, obviously, I've noticed that women that are really good with money, either they come from a family where the dad or mom was usually in finance and they taught her, or the women that are like that are usually bankers or in finance themselves, and they're kind of cheap. Like there's the absolute ones that are ridiculous and spend all the money they have, the money they don't have, and then there's usually the other extreme. It's rare I've seen the happy medium, but that's great. My oldest is on his grind, putting money away, and just sort of staying back from the dating scene. We've talked. I put him on your channel and given a few of the resources I didn't have. Well, thank you. Welcome to the channel, young son. I started with my next son as well, and when I get to my daughters, they get to learn how to be good partners and how to look for good partners. I hold my daughters accountable for starters. Best lesson to start early. Yeah, daddy thinks you're beautiful, but you still have to do your chores around the house. Go do those, and now you have to pick up after the dogs too, because if you don't do your work, your life turns to shit. Good. Yeah, don't have your boys have to do chores and the daughters get away with not having to do anything because they're daddy's little girl. No. And like I said, yeah, you're beautiful, but still go clean the fucking dishes or go fucking sweep the freaking garage. Yeah. I'll keep an eye out for comments. Update, if not, that's okay. But I'll bet a lot of you guys have been in my spots where they were so busy trying to hold together and they missed easy shit. We all make mistakes. Well, there you go. So he wanted to be heard, and I'm sure some of you guys want to hear a little more details of the situation. So, bro, you've been through hell and you got a clean slate. You're having a good time with that gal that you knew back in the day from the small town high school. Continue having a good time. I wouldn't advise being involved with single moms, but it is what it is. You're having a good time, and she's from your past, and you knew each other. So, okay, don't get married. Don't move in together. Have a good time. Do your own thing. And if she's helping you with investing advice and things like that, awesome. Those girls are rare, and they're good ones. So have a good time and just see where it goes. But don't let this head do your thinking, not that one. Or frankly, don't let your heart do it either. But continue on, my man, and I really hope a good life for you. You earned it. And many guys can learn from the mistakes you made, and that's why it's a good thing that you sent in your story, and that's why I covered it. So I wish you the best. All right, guys, that's it for today. Be sure to comment down below. Let me know what you think about this. And, guys, you got a good story to share, send it my way, strongsuccessfulmale@gmail.com. And if it's a good one, I'll definitely do it. And also, if you find any good news articles or crazy stories online, just send them my way, too. I'll find use for it. And be sure to like the video, share with your friends, and subscribe. I'll catch you next time.